What's up, guys? Bear with me 1 second. So, welcome to the first live stream of this YouTube channel. Now, if you have live streamed before, have you noticed there's some kind of delay on YouTube? So right now, I'm looking at YouTube and it seems like it's 10 seconds delayed. But I have to go back to the streaming software and then it's real time. But anyway, what's up, guys? Let me see. And I have to have it on the YouTube page because I have to see if anyone's joining. Listen, I'm not expecting a lot of people to join because I didn't advertise it. I only decided like a couple hours ago that I might try and figure out how this whole live stream thing works. And I had to download all the software and connect it to the software, and it was a whole to-do. Anyway, did you know the shuttle just launched? The Falcon 9 shuttle just launched, and obviously I live in Florida, and so I'm on the West Coast, and the shuttle's launched from Cape Canaveral on the East Coast, and it's about 200 miles away. But on a clear day, we can see the shuttle launch. So half an hour now, I mean, they're already in orbit around the Earth now, but half an hour ago, Harmony and I stepped outside to watch the launch. And wouldn't you believe it, the clouds came in from nowhere, and we had complete cloud cover on this side, and we couldn't see a thing. Like, I stood out there just waiting for a break in the clouds, and yeah, no dice, no dice. So that was fun. Anyway, I guess they safely made it to space. First time in a long time that 2 Americans have been launched into space from the United States. So I guess we're not going to Russia anymore. Well, I actually don't know. Yeah, and we're back. There's fantastic technical difficulties with what's up, Edmund? What's up, my man? All the way from Canada. And I don't even know if I'm live streaming right now, so let me just rattle on. So the screen just went blank on my end, and okay, it looks like I'm back. It looks like I'm back. So what did I want to talk about? I don't know. Hey, the Boston Marathon was cancelled. Boston Marathon was cancelled, so I think that is a great idea. Let me just... I think that was the right thing for Boston to do. Cancelling it, obviously, it's going to be in September. September, it's a little too close, right? It's a little too close to safely gather 30,000 people shoulder to shoulder at the start line in Hopkinton. Of course, there's the expo. You know, it's asking for trouble, in my humble opinion. I know I did put it out on our Facebook group about cancelling the marathons and everyone else cancelling all the other races, and I think most people think that the races should be cancelled. But there's obviously a few that think that the races should continue. So, okay, thanks. Edmund's just let me know that I am streaming live, so that's good to know. You know, as I said, it's about 10 minutes, a 10-second delay on what I'm looking at on my screen. So, listen, this is what I want to know from you guys. Now, I think Edmund is the only one watching it live right now. So, buddy, thank you so much. Let me fist bump you right there. And, oh, guys, by the way, Edmund was the lucky winner of the Aftershokz Aeropex headphones. So, this guy, you know, he's one of my ride or dies. Edmund, you are appreciated, my man. So, with the cancellation of Boston comes the option to do a virtual race. And I haven't researched anything. This is just off the top of my head. I haven't researched anything. But, oh, Roy, just woke up, 6 a.m. in North Queensland. Okay, Roy, you're lucky because you're coming into winter, okay? For those of you who don't know, Northern Queensland is a very tropical climate, much like here in Florida, I think. And yeah, so they're lucky enough to be coming into winter there. But I'm getting off track. Virtual Boston. What do you think? What do you think? Because listen, I'm all for virtual races. I'm all for virtual races if they can stop people from gathering together while we're not allowed to gather together, and yet still fulfill, the need to race. Some of us really love racing and we love training for racing, but obviously we can't do that right now. So virtual races kind of fill that gap. You know what? I think Boston is just a little different. Boston is a little different. Boston is the race that a lot of runners aim for their entire lives, right? They want to run a BQ, and they run their races. It takes years to build up. For a lot of these runners, it takes years for them to build up. Hold on one second. I just got a message from my buddy Pat, but he's not watching this. He lives about 10 miles east of me, and he said it with the shuttle launch was cloudy for him too. Anyway, back to virtual races. I really need to write notes if I'm going to stay on track with stuff I want to talk about. But I think Boston is just a bit different for virtual races because they base their whole running career over Boston. And now if it's a virtual race, I wonder, are they going to leave it with the same qualifying standards? So you have to qualify in order to run Boston, and then they'll send you a medal? Or are they going to let anyone in? Is it going to be a Boston for all? That way, I mean, they'll make a lot more money that way, and I think the charity runners I think the charities would earn a lot more money through all the runners that want to get in there. But I don't know. Listen, I want people to make money for charity, but Boston is it's just special. It's just special. Seems a bit different, and yeah. I don't know, that's my opinion. Write in the comments what you think about virtual Boston. All right, Roy, he ran a multi-terrain marathon yesterday morning. Wow. Now, good on you. Roy, how did it go? Like, beautiful weather, I see you said. So how did you do? How did everyone else do? And how many people were running it? Maybe it was a training run. I don't know. But Roy, I'm waiting for you to let me know how it goes in the comments below. All right. I think most of you that follow me also follow Mark Whitaker out of Helsinki. Running with Mark is his channel. And I can rely on Mark. Mark will see this because he's also one of my ride or dies, and he'll be checking this out later. He made a video last week, and it was about jealousy. It was about jealousy of other runners and how he was finding himself doing stuff because of other runners were doing it. And I had wrote in the comments that no, generally I can keep to myself. Oh, what's up? New York 77. And if tomatoes are a fruit, why is it ketchup a jam? What's up to you? So Mark was saying, we do things that are not for the best because we're trying to compete with others, or we're envious, and that kind of melts into our running, right? And I said, no, I can generally keep myself to myself, and I'm only concerned with what I do, and I look at other people, and it makes me happy to see their progress, right? It makes me happy to see them running better than I'm running, okay? And there's a lot of people right now, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, there's a lot of people right now with better running conditions than I have here in Florida, and I'm forever complaining about the weather. But I found myself on my run this morning kind of jealous of a lot of you runners that you're just coming into summer, and summer is something to look forward to. It's something to, really, it's your running season, right? It's your running season, and the weather has turned good, and you can get out and get up in the mountains and run in the woods and go out and do all this stuff. But here in Florida, and Roy, let me know if this is it for you, but summer, and Roy, be your winter, is our off season for running. It's just too hot to do anything meaningful. I try and go out, and before I start my run, I always have the best intentions, okay? If I want to do a session, I have the best intentions to go out and log some intervals, maybe run a bit faster, but after a couple of miles of warming up, I really find myself just not in the mood. the extreme heat, the humidity just sucks any energy right out of me. And I end up just running easy. And maybe that's going to be it for me for the next 4 months, you know, through the heat of the summer. I don't know. We'll see. David Sachs joining us. Nice to see you doing a live stream. Hey, David, I'm glad you joined in now because actually I tried live streaming about 5 repeated times before this actually worked. And I noticed that my channel was starting to fill up with live stream coming soon, without actually connecting. So I was doing something right, but not doing enough to actually connect. And eventually I went in and just check, delete all, and now I'm here. All right, Edmund says it went from 30 Celsius to 5 Celsius tomorrow. Okay, so you've had it warm. Now it's going to be a bit chilly. Edmund, any snow in the forecast? That's and Edmund, you're in Ontario, right? I'm pretty sure I remember that you're up in Ontario. But yeah, 5 Celsius. Whoa, you're going to be breaking out the long sleeves at least. Yeah. Anyway, so right now I'm jealous of Edmund, guys. Let's see, 5 Celsius. What's that? 40 Fahrenheit. I think you double it and then add 30. So yeah, I am jealous of Edmund's running weather. Okay, so he's had it crazy warm at 30 Celsius, and now it's going to be 5. That's pretty ideal. In fact, I think I've read articles, and there's been some scientific studies that shows the best temperature of okay, Edmund just confirmed, yes. The best temperature is in the low 40s, 42, 43 for men, and maybe a couple degrees warmer for women where they actually reach their potential. Roy, happy birthday. Happy birthday, my man. All right, so yeah, he ran 42 clicks to celebrate turning 42. Everybody say happy birthday to Roy. Okay, Roy, after that marathon, did you do anything else to celebrate? Did you have a few beers? Did you have a birthday cake? Celebrate with the family? I'm sure you didn't have a party with loads of people over because that type of thing is, you know, sort of out the window now. Okay, guys, bear with me 1 second. Let me just go on to Instagram and we'll see if we can get just a few more people on this live stream. Deadbeater Dev is asking where I'm from. I can't even figure out Instagram right now. All right, there we go. Birthday cake, balloon, and a beer from David. Okay, Deadbeater Dev. I am originally from the UK, and now I live in Florida, and I've been here for about 20 years. So my accent is just a bit dodgy. It's a little hard to pin. But obviously, the more I speak, the more British I sound. And obviously, when you see my videos, they're very edited and they're very chopped up. So I think I sound a lot more, my American accent comes out a lot more on my videos than it will right now because now I'm just sort of speaking off the cuff. Yeah, Edmund, perfect temp for a long run. Cake for the kids, a couple of beers. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Edmund, do you plan on doing a long run? Are you going to make the most of these 5 Celsius temps tomorrow? Deadbeater Dev asks, what do I think about India? Well, it's kind of a wide-ranging question. I think it's a beautiful country with the most beautiful cuisine. Indian food is where it's at. All right, I am really going to try and get something on my Instagram. Okay. What's up, everyone? I am currently live streaming on YouTube. So please go over there. The link to my channel is in my bio. All right, thanks. Go and check it out. Okay, good. Now that's done. We might get a few more people in. Okay, good job, Edmund. Good job getting out there for the run. Okay, Deadbeater Dev, are you from India? Is that why you're asking? think it's obvious, but you know, who knows? May as well ask. Okay, my running, and I'm just gonna log on to Strava right now. Go to my profile, and we're gonna talk about something here. So this morning I ran 12 miles, or about 19.3 kilometers. And listen, I can't automatically do the translation from miles to kilometers. I operate in miles, and before I do my videos, I usually pick up the phone and do a little translation so I can tell everyone what the kilometers are. And I made that video this morning. All right, David Lester, what's up, my man? So this morning I did that translation for a video, and yeah, I'll be having another video go live on, not a live video, but I'll be having it go live on Wednesday. And I did an interview type video with another running YouTuber in England. So stay tuned for that. And when you see it, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Okay, oh, here we go. Deadbeat Dev. Why Britishers robbed India in the 19th century. Well, probably not going to go there. Probably not going to go there today, Deadbeat Dev. But you know, thanks for the comment, mate. Okay, David Lester just ran 13.1. How did it go? How did it feel? What was your weather like? What was your time? In fact, I can probably look you up on Strava as we're talking right now. Bear with me. I know this is some dead time when I'm looking on my phone. Let's see. I just cannot find you. Sorry for the dead air, people. We're looking up David Lester and his 13. Ah, solid. On the treadmill? Are you kidding me? David, that's pretty impressive. I cannot believe you ran a half marathon on the treadmill and 8:25 a mile. That's a solid pace. Solid pace, my man. Okay, what else? Your daughter is thrilled you're giving me a shout out. Yeah, you're famous. You're famous with how many people? 10 people? Yeah. Welcome to YouTube. David Lester's daughter, I'm giving you a shout out right now. Tell all your friends that you are also famous. Anyway, did you get your Peloton? Okay, only Roy Matthews says our local running festival was canned despite only 6 active cases in the state. Virtual marathon instead. Well, that's probably for the best. Probably for the best, because there are a lot of people that, what am I trying to say? Even if they don't present, they could still have the disease and pass it on to everyone else. And, you know, a running festival includes a lot of people coming from all over to run, right? So you've got a lot of people coming from all over to go to the festival, and then they take it home, they fly on planes, they go home to their family, they go home and kiss grandma. Next thing you know, grandma has coronavirus and she's dying. Probably not worth it, in my opinion, and we'll be back to normal in no time. Ah, Edmund, did I get my Peloton? Not yet. The date is June 10th. And I'm sure I will do a video as soon as it gets here, like just a setup video, so you all can see what I'm actually going to do with it. So I'm planning a few videos with the Peloton. Planning a few videos. I'll be talking about the price, because it is bloody expensive. But they've got a good deal with no 0% financing, so you can spread it out over a long time, which I know you're still paying the same price, but they make it seem like a good deal if they spread that over. But we'll get into that later. Okay. All right, Deadbeat Dev has 370 subscribers. Boom. Nicely done. Nicely done, my man. All right, David Lester, 70 degrees and no wind, ran in Paris. Ooh la la. Nicely done. Hey, David, was that Zwift? Do you have a Zwift app for the treadmill? I'm not even sure how that works. I see people running on Zwift all the time, but I haven't actually looked into it at all, so I don't actually know how it works. But again, I'm getting sidetracked. Let me go back to my run. Okay, this morning, 12 miles at an 8:16 pace. Oh, it was hot. It was brutally hot this morning. What did I say it was? 81 degrees and 90% humidity. It was a real soaker. All right. I'm just talking about my runs because I'm trying to fill the space. But if you guys have questions, you can always ask because it makes it easier. Oh, welcome, Sarah Lester. Okay, guest of honor right now, Sarah Lester. She is not a subscriber, but she has somehow found this live stream. So, Sarah, welcome to the live stream. Okay. Oh, she is a big fan of my running, so thank you. Okay. Okay. That really put me off. I'm really excited for Sarah Lester to join us. So Roy asked, have you always been vegetarian? And the answer is no. I'm 42 years old, grew up in the UK, and back then I didn't even know vegetarianism was a thing, or at least it was sort of an extreme thing that I had wanted to have no part of. Because, you know, I like my burgers and like my sausages, and when I grew up, I liked steak and ribs and all of that stuff. But I have been vegan for, I think we're coming up on my 6th, maybe my 7th anniversary as vegan. And for a couple of years before I turned vegan, I was pescatarian, so I didn't eat any red meat or chicken, but I did still eat fish for a long time, and then I made the switch. And yeah, it was no big deal. I really enjoy it. And listen, I recognize that we live in a very special time where being vegan is definitely a first world choice, and I have lots of food that I can eat. And it's really not big a deal. And a lot of people ask me, like, what do you miss? Don't you miss a steak? No, I don't miss meat at all. My wife takes really good care of me when it comes to like preparing food, and we get this delivery, and that's, I can't even remember what our delivery service is called. But anyway, they deliver a bunch of vegetables once a week, and I've been really enjoying that. And I know that that Harmony is probably out there right now preparing something for our dinner. We had some great Brussels sprouts, and I'm really rambling. Okay, Sarah is 10 and she is a subscriber. Sarah, thank you so much for subscribing. Okay, and all right, Deadbeat Dev is also vegetarian. Okay, so for you guys that are watching right now and actively commenting, are you... thank you, Edmund, Misfits Market. You are the man. Hey, I need to do live streams more often because I've got everyone to just correct me when I forget what I'm going to say, and I don't have to go back and edit and cut out the dead time. Okay, so before I lose track about the vegetarian or vegan, go ahead and let me know in the comments if you are vegetarian, if you are vegan, if you aspire to be a vegetarian or vegan, or anything like that. If it's a goal, if you try and cut back on meat, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of science out there that talks about the downsides of eating red meat. So I'd like to know if any of you guys have that kind of aspiration. Okay, David Lester asked, what is the longest distance I aspire to run? David, honestly, I think I have already run the longest distance that I aspire to run, and that was a 100-mile race. I have only run one 100-mile race, and that was back in 2017. So my goal was to run 100 miles before I turned 40. So I did it when I was 39. And I'm 42 now, and it's been a little while. I do aspire to run another 100-mile race. I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know when it will be. But, you know, stay tuned to the channel, and I will probably be filming it, because that seems like it would be some pretty compelling footage. Okay, Sarah has a running question. Sarah, whenever you're ready, go ahead and type that in, and we'll get onto that. Excuse me one second. Hey, if anyone has seen my Instagram update and they came to this live stream through that, let me know in the comments. Okay, David asks, me and my wife talk in length about changing a diet. believe now would be a good time to try. Any advice on changing over to a vegan diet? Sarah asks, okay, no, you know what, David, let me answer your question first. So you and your wife has obviously talked in length about changing your diet, and now would be a good time to try. Any advice on changing over? Okay, I changed over one day from not being vegan to being vegan. Hold on, I think maybe I've frozen. Okay, guys, the camera just froze. The camera just froze, but I think we're back. Did the old turn it off, turn it back on. Stand by. Let me know in the comments below if you can actually see me still, but I'm going to keep talking like you can see me. So, David Sachs asked about any advice on changing over to a vegan diet. I would say go slow. I think that is the best course of action. So, if you eat red meat on a regular basis, maybe cut that out. I remember that my wife said to me, she was my girlfriend back then. All right, good. Thanks, David. The feed should pick up in just a minute. So I remember my wife put the idea out to me that we do Meatless Monday. And that blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. I did not want to do Meatless Monday. What a waste of a day to go without meat for one day. But long story short, I did. And here I am doing every day as Meatless Monday. So go slow, maybe cut red meat out, then cut white meat out, chicken, maybe only have it on special occasions. I don't know. I know that my wife is vegetarian, not vegan, and she doesn't eat any meat, but she does like butter and she does like eggs. So perhaps you could go to do what I did to begin with, go to a pescatarian diet, maybe then go to, what would it be? An octovarian diet where you eat butter and eggs. I don't know, but you can make it work for you. You don't have to go all in and like bash yourself over the head with veganism right away. Baby steps. Baby steps will always be the best way. Okay, Sarah asks, how can I run long distances and not get bad cramps? Okay, Sarah, I think the best advice I would say is to slow down. And I know it can be frustrating running slowly, because when we go out and run, we want to run fast. But if you slow down, and it might seem ridiculously slow, right? It might seem ridiculously slow, but it's not. There's no speed limit with running. There's no minimum speed limit, okay? If you're running, if you're getting airborne, if you're like not walking, you're running. So try slowing down, try that first. Now, if you do get a cramp, I think I did a video about it, but I think it was so long ago that I don't even remember. So let's just say, let me stand up. Let's just say your cramp is on your right side. Well, when your left foot hits the ground, you exhale, you breathe out. So it'll be, okay? And that actually takes pressure off your peritoneum, and that should relieve the stitch or the cramp. Okay, good. Everyone says we're good to go. Okay, Roy is just setting up his smoker for a low and slow pulled beef. Okay, well, that sounds pretty good for you. Okay, I know Harmony is cooking something right now for our dinner. I don't know what it is, but I can smell it cooking. And actually, you know what? It's 4:30, and I am actually going to have to go in a minute. I don't know how long this live stream has been going for, but I'm going to have to wrap this up because I am meeting Harmony on the sofa for a drink in just a few, and we're going to watch some TV. I've been at this YouTube thing for hours now, and I took a break to watch the rocket go off, but you know, cloudy. Okay, Sarah, you're welcome. Hi guys. I could rabbit on about something. Okay, hold on. We got another question, and I'm not going to leave while I still have a question. Let me just scroll back up for a second. Okay, Deadbeater Dev asks, who is your girlfriend? Okay, I can't say who my girlfriend is because my wife is just in the other room, deadbeat Dev. Okay, David Lester did his Masters in International Business in my native country. Okay, very cool. Very cool, David. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, David Lester asks, have I ever hit the wall so hard in a race that I felt like walking, but somehow found a new gear to finish strong? And how did you overcome the late race doldrums? Oh, okay. Hit the wall. Yes, I have hit the wall plenty of times. Okay, and I'm trying to think of an actual race where I've done it, but let's go back to, gosh, it's difficult. You know, it's difficult because I'm trying to separate hitting the wall from just being tired after 20 miles, and there's a big difference. And you can actually run, you know, we have enough glycogen in our body to run at marathon pace for a couple hours. And so for me, that's around the 2 hour mark. Actually, I can't even figure that out. But, you know, I can run for about 20 miles on the glycogen I have stored. And then if you haven't fueled, you will hit the wall. And you can't put that back. It's very difficult to put that back. But if you have fueled correctly, you can also just get tired from running 20 miles for two hours. I mean, you know, it's not pleasant. It's not even pleasant to talk about running for 2 hours, but we still do it. So yes, I've hit the wall and it's been very difficult to pull it back. I think the Palm Beach Marathon a couple years ago now, Palm Beach Marathon I ran, and that is a race where I actually hit the wall. It was brutally hot. I think I dropped a couple gels, and that's how stuff turned really bad. But it was really warm, and I actually stopped at a couple aid stations to drink. Now, stopping at aid stations is a very ultra thing to do. You stop, you take your time, you relax, you have a drink, have something to eat, and you just move on. In a marathon's a race. So I was stopping, and that was a big deal for me. And then I'd walk for a few minutes. But I do remember that I was able to pull it back. Now, obviously, after stopping and eating and drinking, you can't pull back the time that after stopping. I mean, your time is obviously going to be slower. But I remember the last couple miles, I finished the race, and I actually felt okay. Like I was moving at a good clip. So as far as hitting the wall and going on, yes, I have done that, and I have been able to find a new gear. But I think there's a lot upstairs, and you have to get in the right mindset for finding that new gear. As far as overcoming late race doldrums, it's finding something else. It's finding your motivation. It's tapping into that motivation. And sometimes you have to know your why. Like, why are you doing it? And I know for several races, I have thought about Strava, I've thought about YouTube, and I've thought about how, listen, I need to push just a little further because there are a lot of people watching me. And it's not a negative thing. At least I don't think it's not a negative thing, but I've used that to motivate me. Other reasons I've thought, especially when I go to Boston, you know, I've had a couple of times running the Boston Marathon. I think I've run it 6 times where I've gotten tired at the end and I'm just like, I'm done. I want to stop. I want to jump on a bus and take it to the finish. But I always start to feel better. And I think to myself, you know, I do a fast forward. How would I feel at the end of this race? And how would I feel at the end of this race if I didn't finish the race? And I would feel pretty bad if I didn't finish. So, you know, I've kind of got to a point where there's no shame in just walking as long as you finish the race. Like you set out to do something, and even if you start feeling bad, if you don't always feel good about doing it, you can always feel good about pushing through and getting to the other side, even if it's not the time that you wanted. So that's kind of how I overcome the late race doldrums. Roy asks, what do I do for work? Roy, I am a public servant. Have I mentioned on my YouTube channel what I do for work? I don't know, but I'm a public servant. They call me an essential worker, so I haven't got to have any time off. But on the bright side, I didn't lose my job during the whole coronavirus thing. Okay, David asks, any good massage gun recommendations? Currently shopping for one. There's a bunch on Amazon. I don't have a massage gun. I've wanted a massage gun for quite a long time. and I've messaged a couple of companies to see if they want to send me one to review it, but ultimately that's just because I'm cheap and I'd rather have one sent to me. But okay, I do have a friend that just got one for his birthday, and I'm just going to pull up the text message now. My buddy Matt Bates, Must Coach. And okay, he ordered one. He got one for his birthday. The brand is Must Coach, Muscoach. And he said he's very, very happy. And listen, because I'm new to this whole live streaming thing, I'm going to do something very simple. And I'm going to pull it up on my phone. I'm going to hold this up to the camera. But let's see. Let me just focus on there. That's the Must Coach. Well, you know what? Forget it. Forget it. It says it's unavailable. So, David, let me message you later, and I will. I'll see if I can find that one that my buddy recommended to you, and I'll send it to you. And I think he said it was like $80, and that's that's pretty good, especially when I think some of the higher end ones are like $400, and they're all made in the same factory, right? Like one day I'll be making a massage gun and charge $400 for it for one company, and I'll be making the same one for another company and charge $80. All right, guys, listen, that's it. I've got, no, let's see. Yeah, that's it. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to the first live stream. Next time I'm really going to try and plan it a little better, and I'll put out an advertisement. If you already subscribe to me on YouTube, then you'll get my notifications in the community section, and I'll probably put something out on Strava, Instagram, all that jazz. Yeah, that is a good price, David. Okay, guys, that's it. Be kind, be happy, run well. Thanks for tuning in to the first Chatting with Matt. It's a working title. Chatting with Matt live stream, and I'll see you next time.